Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Oliver Joyce from Whiskeybarrel Studios for the last time in 2024. Can you believe it? We're almost there. It's 18th of December and it's raining outside. This is summer in Australia. Yesterday, almost 40 degrees Celsius and today 22 degrees. There you go. That's been your weather update from Whiskeybarrel Studios. Thanks everybody. Have a good year. No. I just wanted to do a little video to wrap things up for the year. Not really sure what I wanted to talk about, but it's been a crazy year for me. This has been the hardest year of my life, easily, bar none. Without going into any, I don't really want to go into serious details, but the year started off with my little medical emergency of my own with the well-detailed colonoscopy that I had to do. And, there's a video all about that. Go check it out. It's very dramatic with, me in a medical gown and everything. If only that was the hardest thing I had to deal with this year, because that, in the scheme of things, this pales into what happened in April. And in April, we received some really, just devastating news. My wife is being diagnosed with a very serious medical condition, a lifelong condition that has just really thrown our world into a million bits, and it's something that we're dealing with. It's all hands on deck. This whole year we've been handling it, but it certainly made things just it's really put things into perspective on what matters in life and what is important, and what you can what you can let go and what you need to hold on to. And right now she's on the road to recovery. There's she's doing great, and we've all rallied, but it hasn't been an easy year. But in these moments you find joy and hope, and there is so much to be grateful for still. And we have two little boys, and we're so blessed to have them, and they bring everything together. They allow you to live in the moment even when things are hard. And this year personally for me, I've just really tried to focus on just being busy and stepping up for the family where I can. Of course, with work and everything, that side of things fine. But I've just tried to doing the daycare drop-offs and school drop-offs, and just keeping the household together while my wife recovers. And she's doing great at the moment, by the way. She's a real she's a legend. She's everything. But it's funny because in such moments like that, you sort of you learn to appreciate what you have, and you don't sweat the small stuff anymore. And so things that really bothered me earlier, I can just sort of let go now, and I've really been able to focus on. Funny enough, Lair of the Leviathan just came along at exactly the right time. It was sort of June, July that I met David, and David from Nostalgic Realms, and we started working together on the project, and it was just again a blessing that this happened at the time that it did. This is of course Lair of Leviathan playing in the background. This is David's early trailer, which a lot has changed since then. This is all sort of him putting together, but having this game to work on has just allowed me to sort of just channel my energies into something really positive, and something I can sort of just sort of escape from the the realities of life for a little while, and just not to shirk my responsibilities or anything, but just allow me to focus on something really cool. And I'm so grateful for this, and for David for allowing me the opportunity to be part of something which I think is very special, and I think is probably going to be hopefully the defining project of my career. You know what I mean? Of course, I started this year hard at work on Gorgon Shield, and I worked on that for pretty much a year. You know what I mean? From I think it was something like May until May 23 till May of this year, and that game, let's be honest, it tanked. it's currently sitting at something like 73 reviews on Steam or something like that, and it's still sitting at very positive. So the people that played it like it, but you know what? Nobody played it. That's just the reality of how it was. I mean, just looking at the Steam page here, yeah, 73 reviews, very positive, sitting at 80%, and that's that is something to be proud of. But if I just play the trailer for you guys and talk over the background of it. Hello, full screen, play. Hello, there we go. Looking back at this, even sort of 6 months after launch, I can kind of see where I went wrong. Even if only visually, I kind of fell in love with a style that reminded me of, the arcade games of my youth. And to be honest, I don't think a lot of people have that nostalgia, or put it this way, I think maybe I didn't execute it in such a way that was appealing. Because looking back at it, I can see where, let's be honest, this kind of looks ugly. And I almost wish I'd just gone in a very different visual direction. And the game had bugs as well. There are still a couple of bugs that I'd never been able to solve. It does, crash a little on some people's machines, and I was never able to solve that. And so in the end, this was just a troubled development that I was in the thick of building this game when sort of our, family emergency hit, and it really took just so much out of me to try and get the game finished, and I just ran out of steam with it, to be honest. I finished it off in as best I could, and I ended up, I was very happy with the end result to a point, but looking back on it, I can see its flaws, you know what I mean? Such is life. Not every game is going to be a hit. Not every game is going to be swords and sandals. And, I'm so lucky to have the Sword and Sandals community and to have the success that I had with those games. They have something like almost 500,000 downloads combined on Steam, which, it's not in the big leagues or anything, but that is a lot of downloads for, a solo indie developer like myself. And so that has allowed me the freedom to be able to make games like Gorgon Shield, have misfires like Gorgon Shield. And I poured a year of my resources into that and got basically nothing out of it. The returns on that have been, pathetic. But I might take off one day. But but still, you look back and you learn from every game you make. There are lessons to be learned from everything you do, and as long as you make new mistakes, then you progress and grow as a game developer. And that led me into Lair, Leviathan. These dots are all connected, and here we are, 6 months into the development of Lair, Leviathan. I'm loving it so far. David and I are super motivated. Progress is, going along at a phenomenal rate. Even though I haven't had that much to show you, I'm working very hard in the editor. Let's go quickly take a look at the editor right now, because you've probably seen it a bit more, but I've been working very hard on it. Several hours later, I forgot to stop recording while I loaded this up. But yeah, you've seen all this. I'm not going to go into the game itself, but this is the game behind the scenes. You've got the cool editor. We've got your region maps. We can do everything from add points of interest and lights and change the time of day, all sorts of cool things. You can change the weather, load save maps, location maps with detailed interiors and entrances and so on. Interiors actually we don't have yet, but that's coming. We've got the full-on encounter editor here, which is very detailed now, where you can add everything from combat to NPCs to play big pictures, this kind of thing. You can load pictures now with a proper actual file editor here. There is a lot in this encounter editor. It's crazy. That took me quite a long time. Got the character editor. You can go through all this detail with your characters. Crazy detail. We're actually updating this soon, so this will change again to make it a bit more customized, a bit more not customized, a bit more better looking, for lack of a better English term. So you got that. You've got the quest editor is not done yet. The powers editor is, I've just started, so I'm not going to click on that in case it crashes. But you've got your miscellaneous editor where I can change sort of color palettes for things and go, yeah, this is what, I want these color palettes to be available. Print all encounters so I can load them into a Google spreadsheet for language translation purposes. Copies that to this is just going to be all miscellaneous things that I can't think of. And of course the items editor, which I may have or may not have shown you. I can now create all these different items. I can create a new armor, weapon, shield, clothing, consumable, whatever it is. Let's create a new weapon. I'll call this a short sword. You can load up a picture for it. You can make +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 variations of it for magical ones. This is a sword, melee. It does 1d6 damage, piercing. It's an agile sword. All this kind of cool stuff, right? It's a one-handed sword, of course. It's very light. And I can say this sword also gives you +2 strength, so it become a magical one. So we go like Ollie's short sword. You can save that. You could also say this one also does an extra. It does let's say fire damage. One does 1d10 fire damage. That'd be a really powerful sword. So we can save that. So we've got a full items editor here now as well, and you can now load that from here. If I go Ollie's short sword, search by weapons, swords, full searchable stuff. That took me pretty much only a couple of weeks. That one was really quick to build. The powers editor, which is all your, everything from spells to lockpicking to walking to everything. That's going to take a little longer. But I'm so happy with how this is coming along. I want to give a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters who've been with me this year and many years in some cases. BGP, Cavity Number 1, Dane Simono, Brandon K, Noah Gudajan, XUp Omega, Seth Drabitko, Jethro of Hex 3D, Hopeless, Lois Fugel, Valen Wed, Evan, Martin Chalupski, and Sir Onyx. You guys, I really appreciate you guys. You're a hardy, small band, but just having that support. Knowing you guys care enough to be part of this inner circle means a lot. And when the time comes, you will be involved in Lair or Leviathan, whether it's with a picture or a tombstone or a book, something that will, commemorate your involvement in Whiskeybarrel Studios. We'll get there. And so I want to thank you guys for being with me this year and always. And, Diagan wants to thank you. Look, I'm trying to talk. Get out of the way. Get, idiot. But yeah. Thanks, guys. Link below if you want to join the Patreon. So yeah, that's 24 done. Not a sword and sandals year. I know probably most of you who join this channel are sword and sandals fans, and the series is kind of parked at the moment. I've done some updates this year. We had the classic collection update thanks to the awesome modders of the community, Niram, Zorgius, and all those guys who did some really just fantastic work on just creating some cool fan mods, and that has breathed new life into the Sword and Sandals Classic Collection. So thank you so much, guys, and the Sword and Sandals Discord community, just for being part of things and keeping things, going and keeping interest in the series while I'm not here. I would love to be working on Sword and Sandals always, but I need a break from it mentally sometimes, and I've also got to bring in money and just juggle many things. So because there's only one of me, and of course Lair or Leviathan is kind of one of my dream projects, so I'm taking a break from SNS while that happens. But there may indeed be a Sword and Sandals project next year, depending on when the art comes in and what time I get free to work on it. But that will happen at some point. I have art sort of trickling in slowly with that, so we're not at the end of the Sword and Sandals journey, far from it, and there will be more Sword and Sandals to come in the years ahead, of course. So I salute you guys, gladiators all. Finally, thank you everyone for supporting this channel and for subscribing below. That's like, who does that anymore? But look, honestly, from me to you, stop that endless loop. No, not you, stop that. Stop. From me to you, I want to wish you and your families Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful holiday break. Cherish the time you have with your loved ones. you never know when life's going to throw you a curveball. And if it does, have hope. You know, sometimes it's darkest before the dawn. And with that, all my love to you guys. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.